Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. See if we got everything live here. Yes, indeed, we are on. Happy Sunday. Tough Love Live number 4. It's a month. 4 of these. Been a month already. Seems like just yesterday. So today we're going to talk about excuses. And like I always tell you, I got a couple of cameras here, so I'm going to try and look at everybody. This is a high production operation here. So, excuses. No more excuses. Why are we making all the excuses? We don't have to make all these excuses. Tough Love Live. What I talk about are the 5 pillars that I like to live my life on. Diet, exercise, self-education, self-realization, massive action. So today, when we talk about excuses, I think we're in the self-realization pillar of life. Why are you making all the excuses? Why are you keeping yourself stuck, keeping yourself in that day-to-day grind? Why? Because this is what you've been programmed to think. You've been programmed to make these excuses. These excuses are something that's ingrained in your brain. So you're going to work every day, and when you're going to work every day, you learn certain things in life that stick with you. So I can always make money, but I can't always make memories. So people are saying to themselves that I don't need to make money because I need to spend more time with my family. That one really bothers me. What are you trying to do? You're trying to build a legacy for your family. You're trying to be the best person that you can be for your family. Yet you are making an excuse not to make as much money as you can, to live the most comfortable life that you can, to create the most comfortable life for your children, for your spouse. Why would we do that? Why does that even make sense? Sacrifice a little of your time for the rest of your life. So if you are in a job that creates more time freedom for you and you're making less money at that job to have more time freedom, but you're struggling more, you keep telling yourself that you're happier. Are you truly happy because you can spend less time at this job but make less money? Are you truly happier? So when you say, I could always make money, but I can't always make memories, you can always make money at what? Tell me what you can always make money at. Do you mean you can always just go and get a job? Nobody wants to really have a job. Nobody wants to go work for somebody else. That is not our goal in life. We're not born thinking, I can't wait to go and work for somebody else, make someone else a whole bunch of money, and be told what to do all day long. No, it's something that you are programmed to do for your entire life. From the time you start school to the time you leave school, it's so that you can go work a career somewhere. You can be at a corporate job to make someone else a pile of money, to be your best, be the best worker that you could possibly be for someone else. So tell me, what is it that you can go make money at any time you want? Because it's not for you, it's for someone else. That is my problem. So these are subconscious excuses is what I like to call them. They are excuses in your subconscious. I can make money anytime I want. I just don't have to because I want to spend more time with my family. You're not spending quality time with your family if you can't afford to do anything. If you had the financial freedom is different than time freedom. What you want in life is financial freedom and time freedom. Now, if you had the financial freedom to do all of these great things with your family, you might be sacrificing a bit of that time freedom, but the freedom you are spending with your family is good quality freedom. So that's my problem with that one. So in theory, it's true in all practicality. Yes, you can go make money doing anything. Anybody can go get a job. You can get any crappy job anywhere. I'm sorry if I say working at a coffee shop is a crappy job, but it's not a job that I'd want to do. So any retail job of the sort, and they don't pay a lot of money. Yes. So I guess if you're fit for that kind of job, if that job is for you, um, you could go get any job you wanted. You could get a job doing anything. You could be a mail carrier, you go deliver flyers. People pay you to deliver their garbage flyers, or people say I don't want no junk mail. You can make money doing that if you want. You can make money doing anything. Yes, in all practicality, that is right. But that's not what you want to do. You don't just want to do it for the sake of doing it because you have to make money. You want to make money because it's a massive, massive portion of your life. You should probably want to enjoy the money that you're making, be excited that you're making that money because it's such a large portion of your life and your lifestyle. And some big excuses in life that people use, they kind of get them from working harder. So the biggest reason I think that people have so many excuses is to stop them from having to work so hard. So in the back of your mind, you're like, I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to work that hard. So all these excuses come up. The government's taxing me so much. Why do I want to go to work more hours when they're going to take more taxes off of me? Why do I want to do that? Why do I want to go work for that company? Because, they're a big conglomerate and they're ruining the environment and this, that, and the other thing. So you're not going to associate with that. You're going to go live off grid because you hate government and corporations and you want to have all of your cash under your pillow and you want to do that. That's a rabbit hole you can fall down. And lots of people are falling down that one. And I thought about that one for a while myself when I was not in such a great mindset. But it's foolish when we can just adapt to what's happening in life. We don't have to be a pawn in the play. We don't have to be that pawn. You don't have to hate on the government to create an excuse for why you don't want to do something. You just have to adapt and grow from it. You can grow from any situation and don't have to make an excuse why you're not going to do something. And on that government, you hate on all kinds of things. You hate on greed in general. Oh, these guys make so much money. They're so greedy. They're taking all the money from everybody else. But what are you doing to earn that money? So they're really greedy. They're taking money out of people's mouths. What did you do different where maybe they took the food out of your mouth or they took the money out of your pocket? Is there something different that you can do to change that rather than making an excuse as to why you don't have any money? So you lost your job. And when you lost your job, did you have a backup plan? So you had this job for 20 years. Did you ever think that you might lose that job? And now you don't have a backup plan. Now you're looking for a job and maybe you're in your 50s and you don't have your pension set up yet. You don't have your retirement set up yet and you have nowhere to go. And you still have a car payment and you haven't paid off your mortgage yet. And whatever, your wife is ill, your child is ill, you're caring for these people, you're caring for your parents, and you haven't set yourself up for the game yet. You haven't set yourself up for the finish, and you lost your job of 20 years. It happens. It happens every day. This is why I say we shouldn't be making excuses. Why? And a big, big excuse is, well, I have a good job. Yeah, but you don't have a backup plan. You don't have a freaking plan, man. So what do? Make a plan. You need a stream of income other than the main. The main cannot be your excuse. It cannot be your excuse to why you don't have time because I have a job that takes up 40, 60, 80 hours a week. If you have a job that takes up 80 hours a week and you're still concerned about where you're going to go in life, that's a problem. That's a big problem right there because you're working for someone else. You're working 80 hours a week and you can't make ends meet at the end of the game. That's a big problem. I can understand if you're working 40 hours a week for minimum wage or less than a great wage. But if you're working tons of hours, you're making big money and you're living beyond your means, that's a problem, big problem. And so there's another excuse. I can't do this because I'm broke. But you got people who are managing their wealth better, who make less money than you, and they are doing better than you, because some people don't understand that. So there's plenty of excuses on that matter that I could go on for a long time. So the excuses are something that is in here. They're in here. I always point down here. I have this visual where my subconscious is back here somewhere, or my conscious is up here somewhere. I guess it's the way I look at it. It's the forefront of things is your conscious mind. My subconscious is back here and kind of makes the plays. So like I said, adapt and change and lose the old way of thinking. So the old way of thinking is, say you were a farmer. I'm a farmer. I'm a third, fourth, fifth generation farmer. My family has had this land for 100 years. But it's hard to stay in the industry unless you're growing and adapting with it. So if your father and your grandfather didn't adapt with the growth of farming, and they didn't buy the latest and greatest combines, and they're not seeding the same way as everybody else is, and they're not tilling their land properly, or they're doing it the old way where you only get a certain amount of crop. They're not doing it where they can do bulk amounts of land. They're only doing it where they can, make the money that they made in the 1950s, not the money that they require in the 2010s and 20s. So now you're behind the times. So now as a farmer, you're not making the money that you could have been making 20 years ago, 30 years ago, because you're living the old way. Or you work in the construction business because you got a job through your father and he got a job through his father. And in that construction business, the wages kind of stay stagnant. As the wages stay stagnant, you're not growing. You're just in an industry that you know because your family was in it, and you don't know how to get out of it because, again, I'll point to my subconscious. This is what you always thought you wanted to do because you saw your dad do it. You saw your mom do it. You saw your grandfather do it. Maybe their life wasn't as great as you thought it was. They just did well. Your grandfather did well for your father. Your father did well for you. You want to do well for your kids. But we're in the new times. We're in the new way. Things have changed so much we cannot live the old way. So in living in these old ways, we create excuses because we don't want to accept or adapt to the new ways of thinking. Creates excuses. These excuses are just, so when you make the excuse, not only are you pulling it from your subconscious, you are now ingraining it even deeper into your subconscious. Every time you make that excuse that I can't do this, or I won't do this, or it's too hard to do this, you are ingraining that even deeper and harder into your subconscious that I cannot do this. So in essence, you won't. So soon you're not going to be saying, I can't do this. Someone's going to say it and you're going to go, I won't do that. I won't do that. No, it's no longer can't, it's won't. You've just set yourself up for a life of misery and destruction. And I hope that in the end, you have end game and you have planned other things properly, because saying I won't all my life or I can't all my life is not setting you up for the win, especially in the new age. It is not. You need to be set up for the new age. How do you set up for the new age? You need to learn a new craft. Here's going to be an excuse, and I think when I said that, everybody just went, oh, I can't learn a new craft. I don't have time. Make time. You have time. I know you have time because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. You have time. Even myself, there's a few shows that I watch on Netflix. I watch a pile of documentaries because I like to learn things. I could probably drop a couple hours a week watching my documentaries to learn something new. You need to learn something new. Learn a craft. Become good at the craft. And grow from there. Learn something that you love. Lots of people learn woodworking, quilting. I know women that are doing quilting. You think, oh man, that's so 1950s. No, there are women that are quilting and making a ton of cash. There are people that are garage sailing. It got so big now. Look at Gary Vee, one of the busiest hustlers out there. Gary Vaynerchuk, he's running around now. He's got a show about garage sailing, selling old stuff. Crazy. So if you're going to tell me you don't have any time, look at these online hustlers that are just going like crazy. They're working lots of hours, but you know what? They're raking in the cash and they're loving what they're doing. You know why? Because it's by their efforts that this cash is coming in. People are like, oh, it's all their time. It's all their time. It's not their time on someone else's terms. That's why it is so much more rewarding, so much easier to work an 80-hour week when it is that rewarding. Now you have no more excuses. You have no more excuses. I don't have an excuse not to do this show every Sunday. I don't have an excuse because I like doing it. Because I'm very passionate about telling people what I think. I'm not a know-it-all, but I would like people to see things from the point of view as I'm speaking right now. So I have no excuse not to do this. This isn't something that takes up my time. This is something that I want to do for you. This is something that I want to tell you. Because some people are not enlightened on this sort of thing. I wasn't. I know there was a way I had to do things, and I was doing things that way. And I realized I was losing by doing things the old way. So you need to learn a craft. You need to start a craft. You need to not even learn a craft. Do you already have a passion? Do you already have something you love to do? Do you already have a hobby? Create that. Don't create that hobby. Create a lifestyle around that hobby because it's something you love to do. So why would you not make that something that could be monetized? You can monetize your passion. Now you have no excuse. Even if it's a little extra cash, even if that passion that you have created an extra few $100s a month. $100 a month, that's nothing. Is that worth my time? If it's not worth your time, you don't love doing that. That's not your passion. So what I mean is find your passion. It's something that you're like, oh shit, I could make an easy $100 on that because you love doing it, not because it's work. If it's something extra on the side to make a few extra bucks and you don't love doing it, it's not really worth doing it for $100 a month. But if it's something you love and you love it, great. I could do this for the rest of my life. I can understand people need to keep their jobs. You need to keep your job unless you're secure in something else. What if your passion turned into something that you could be secure in and not have to have that job anymore? Because it's possible. People are doing it every day. Because what we don't realize is how lucky we are to have these phones. This phone, this tablet, this computer I'm on, the other phone that I'm filming on. How lucky are we to have this? So when your father was a construction worker, a farmer, an office worker, or whatever him or your mother were, and they didn't have these options, they would have had to hustle on the side. Hustle. And lots of people did that and are well off today. We can hustle with this and not leave our house. Crazy. We are so lucky. I'm grateful that we have all this technology. There was a time I wasn't grateful for this. There was a time I wasn't grateful for anything. And that created a lot of excuses in my life because I was not grateful for anything because I figured that my old way of living was the only way of living. So the new way of living to me was shit. So I made excuses, every excuse under the sun as to why I wasn't going to adapt to what the world was throwing at me. I was wrong. I was backwards. We need to adapt to what the world is throwing us because the world is ever changing. You are ever changing. You are changing everything. You are changing everything that you see day to day. Every action that you take is because of every action that you take is the reason that everything happens in your life. You change everything. So don't think you're not affecting other people's lives by the things that you do. So when you better your life and you change your mindset and you change the way your subconscious is programmed, you're not only changing your life, you're changing everybody's lives. You're manifesting everything that happens in your life. So don't let other people manifest your life by putting things in your subconscious. And a lot of that is the things that you're learning at your job. So when you're told a certain way to do things, you're told to act a certain way in school, you're being told how to live. That's getting away from excuses, but that's what creates excuses. It creates all of the excuses that we have, because the excuses come from what we were taught. So what I am trying to teach you is that you are the one who can program this. And that's by educating yourself. Educating yourself on the new way, a better way, and that you need to be grateful for the things that the world is throwing at you. You need to look at it from a different point of view and a different mindset. That is what you have to do. Now that is that, and that's all I wanted to touch on for excuses. Change your mindset, lose the excuses. You have no reason to better your life. You have every reason to better your life. You have no reason to not better your life. And if you are not making conscious efforts every day to better your life, be a better person, make more money, love your wife more, love your husband more, love your children more, there is a reason for it all. And in the end, we will understand why we did it all. I can't tell you why we're doing it all. But I mean, I asked a question on my page the other day. If you had everything in life, and you had all the wealth that you wanted, and you had all the possessions that you wanted, you had all the feelings that you wanted. I have happiness, I have contentness, I have love, I have all this stuff. What do you do now? When you have everything that you ever thought you could have in life, you have all the riches, you have all the possessions. So say you have the millions of dollars you wanted, you have the fancy car and the big house and, the beautiful children and a beautiful spouse, and life is good. Life is as good as it can get. I'm traveling, I'm experiencing the world. What now? Has anyone looked past it? What are we seeing now? Tell me what? No, it's because we're ever changing, we're ever growing. There's no excuse not to make yourself better every day, because even when you get to that point, there is no end game. You can grow, grow, grow. You can always grow to be a better person. You can always grow to be a richer person. Always. So there is no end game. There's no excuse not to push. There's no excuse not to be better every day. And it doesn't matter what anyone tells you. I don't give a shit what anybody says. If you go and talk to someone about what I just talked about and they say, oh my, that is a load of crap, then they have all the limiting beliefs in their subconscious that I'm talking about that are creating the excuses and are telling you that you are wrong for wanting to make change. Excuses are just the limiting beliefs that are put in our subconscious. I can say this over and over and over again for an hour, but I'm going to keep this to less than half an hour. And I really, really, really appreciate everyone that's coming out. I get more and more engagement, more people coming out every week. Like I said, it's only been a month. This is episode number 4. I can see people on here. I'm sorry. I'm not, I don't want to lose my train of thought, so I don't always say hi to everybody. But I appreciate people. I see people that have been on here week after week, and it's really nice. It's good. And I'm glad that people do take into account that what I have to say is something true and something special. And I hope that I can continue to share this every week and get more engagement, and people do get excited about this life and the new way versus the old way, and reprogramming your own subconscious by self-educating yourself, learning more about the world, learning more about how we do things, and realize that the circle jerk that we live in isn't the way we have to live the rest of our lives. You can make change. You can work a little harder for yourself. You don't have to drive yourself into the ground and work that hard. Some people want to do that. That's fine. Does it pay off in the end? I don't know. I don't think it'd be good for your health. One of my pillars, diet, exercise, those two are all part of the health. Health and well-being are two major points of those 5 pillars. You don't have your health, you don't have your well-being, you don't have anything. You don't have all your mental faculties. So just work on yourself and it'll come time after time, baby steps. But I appreciate y'all. Have a great Sunday and have a great week. I'll keep in touch through the week. Pay attention to the posts and we'll learn about what's going to happen next week. Have a great Sunday.